Hey, thanks so much for joining me today. I pray that this entire month you're watching my videos, you're sharing them, you're liking them, you're leaving comments below, because I believe that we can give you a lot. I can give you a lot of insight on end times. I just love studying the end times. I believe that we can watch Bible prophecy take place each and every day of our life because we are literally living in the end times. Well, this week I want to concentrate on one thing before we move into next week. This week I want to give you 12 keys to unlocking biblical prophecy. These are keys that I wish in a way I would have been taught in Bible college. Actually, I was never even taught these things in Bible college. It was only as I studied the Word of God that these things begin to click and make sense, okay? So I'm going to give you 12 keys. Today, in this episode, I'm only going to give you 6. Later on in the week, I'll give you the other 6, okay? So let's jump right into it. I don't want to waste any time. Let's get right into it. I'm going to give you 6 keys to unlocking biblical prophecy really quick. You're going to have my notes so you can go back and review it. You can look at all the scriptures, but I promise it will absolutely bless your life. So let's get into the Word of God, the best part. All right, let's look at the term all the earth, okay? If you look at the term all the earth, a lot of times people think that that means all the earth when it comes to Bible prophecy, but you really got to allow the text to speak specifically about what it means. Okay, what I mean by that is, I'll give you examples like Daniel 5:18 talking about Nebuchadnezzar's father, that all the earth feared him and he was given dominion over all the earth. Well, if you go back and study history, you'll find out that Nebuchadnezzar really didn't have authority over all the earth. He controlled a small portion of the Middle East. My point being, the term all the earth is really derived from the context of what is going on. In other words, let me say it this way. The term all the earth is really about that region of the world that person speaking is talking about. Remember, the known world of their time of all the earth was the Middle East. That's all the earth they knew about. They didn't know about South America, North America, and all that stuff. Even though there were people groups here, they did not have authority over, in other words, Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar's father, Nebuchadnezzar himself. The South American Indians didn't fear him. They didn't know about him. So that's my point. So whenever the term all the earth is used, understand that doesn't necessarily mean the term all the earth as we know it today. It simply means all the earth, the known earth of their day. All right. So, and I give you plenty of examples of this. I give you all kinds of examples. This becomes really important when you interpret the Bible, though, because, for example, jump down here in my notes to Daniel chapter 11, verse 30. A lot of times people think that the Antichrist will rule the entire earth or all the earth. My opinion is he will rule the Middle East. He will rule the Middle East. I'll get into more detail of that next week, but he will rule the Middle East. For example, the reason I know he will not rule the entire earth is because Daniel chapter 11, verse 30. This is one of many examples. This states that the ships of Cyprus, all right, will sometimes Kittim referred to, again, looking at my notes, often translated as out of the west. In other words, ships from out of the west is what it really is talking about. And again, go back and read this in context. This is the islands of the coast of the Mediterranean and the races that inhabit those areas. That means that the Europeans will fight against the Antichrist. I know a lot of times people talk about the Antichrist coming out of Europe. He will not come out of Europe. Europe will actually fight against the Antichrist. And there's a Bible verse to prove that. All right, let's talk about the next 5 things that you need to understand. The term mountains actually refer to kingdoms. The Bible oftentimes uses the term mountain to describe nations. It describes nation, empires, or kingdoms, okay? If one reads these passages replacing the word mountain with kingdom, then you'll get what that the message of that Bible verse, okay? So remember, whenever you're reading the Bible, you're reading about whether it's in the book of Revelation or whether it's in the book of Daniel, and it says, and I saw a mountain. Well, the word mountain there is a kingdom. It's simply a nation, okay? So that's another key, important key to understanding the Bible. Here's another one, number 3, the word waters. Water or waters, it refers to different ethnic groups. So when it says, I saw a beast rising many waters for example. All right, that's talking about waters, meaning many ethnic groups. Okay, number 4, head. The word head there, it means a kingdom. Now, I know a lot of times in the Left Behind series, they use the word head as being someone like a head of state, someone who is like the president or a prime minister or whatnot. And in the Left Behind series, they showed that prime minister receiving a shot to the head, and then he was resurrected. Okay, that it may make good for a book, but it's not good Bible. The word head there, it means a kingdom. In other words, when it says that it says a head received a mortal wound and was resurrected, it's talking about a kingdom. A kingdom received a mortal wound and was resurrected, specifically talking about the Ottoman Empire or the Muslim Islamic Caliphate. All right. Now, looking at this, number 5, a woman is a spiritual entity with a literal kingdom and capital. Okay. The woman, which is oftentimes referred to as the harlot in the book of Revelation. All right. We'll get into that next week, but here's the point. Woman is a spiritual entity. Okay. Number 6, and the last one I'll give you for today, is the beast in Revelation are empires led by kings. All right. So the beast talked about in the book of Revelation, these are kingdoms. These are empires that come together. They're often called the 10 toes of the book of Daniel, the 10 nations of the book of Revelation. We'll get into that next week. But the bottom line is, when you see or hear me next week talk about the empires and the beast in Revelation, it's talking about empires. Okay. Now that gives you 6 of them. I gave you 6 of them real quick. I'll give you 6 more later in the week. This will help us next week. I did not feel like I could move into next week without giving you these keys, so that next week, man, we can get down and dirty into the book of Revelation. It's going to bless you. So please make sure you share this. Make sure you repost this. Make sure you send these out. These will bless people's life so that the word of God can come alive in their heart. And again, this entire month talking about end times. Well, I pray that blessed you. God bless you. Make sure you repost, share it, give your comments below. We'll talk to you later on this week.